Hello and welcome to another episode of Slay the Spire. We are going to try and get our third win in a row. This is actually our third game today. I decided to play unrecorded a couple runs today, and I won both of them. This one I definitely didn't take too seriously. Kind of a sloppy, quick run. I don't know, it was 2 hours. I think I got up and left it running though. I think probably realistically my playtime was closer to like an hour 15, which is pretty quick for me. This one I did a little bit more intensely. This is probably more representative of the actual game time. It took me an hour 42. My last one you could see recorded took me almost 3 hours. This one took me almost 3 hours. So I played a quick couple games today. I'm not too burnt out, but we'll see if I do this all in one run. I would really like to get 3 in a row, so I'm really going to try and focus, which is why I'm recording it. I think choosing to record it really brings out the best of my desire to focus. Although, of course, fatigue is hard to mitigate simply by choosing to record my run, so we'll see how that goes when we get towards the end of Act 3. Maybe we'll break for dinner and come back and finish Act 3. I would like to finish it today, though. Once you get to the Act 3 boss gauntlet, if you leave and come back, it's really hard to recontextualize everything for yourself. I think random common relic is what I won my previous 2 seeds with. You gotta be kidding me. Screw you, slime boss. Although I think I did have a slime boss win my first run today. We got an early shop. Upgrading a card is an embarrassingly small bonus compared to obtaining a random common relic. A rare colorless card is cool, but I'm gonna stick with my bread and butter, take a random common relic. Smiling mask. We could actually hit 3 shops this act. I don't know if that's good. I will say that so we would do shop, elite, fire, elite, fire, shop, elite, shop. So it would be a 3 elite, 2 bonus fire route to do all those shops. The downside is removing cards doesn't make us that powerful, especially for this first elite, this 4/6 elite. All we will have to show for our efforts is 3 card rewards, a removed card, and whatever this question mark is. And there's no off-ramp, that's the other thing. It's like, if we're just offered 3 bad card rewards, we can't dodge this elite, we can't dodge this elite. Really rough. Okay. 2 shops is actually kind of enough if we want to like really squeeze the mask value, which I don't think we do. But I kind of like this idea of shop, elite, shop. Or maybe even just shop, fire, elite. You know, if we want to get another fire in. So this route is pretty appealing. If we get to this chest, we have the choice of 2 question marks. If for whatever reason we feel like we're really far ahead and we want to intentionally sacrifice health for power, we can just take some question marks. I think 80%, if we're not in that what I will call the 80th percentile of power level, we'll instead simply take a happy little 2 extra combats looking for potions, and then we'll get to remove a card here. Although Serpent gets a lot better since we can just remove the doubt right here, so we'll see. We'll see what we run into. I think Fire Elite is what we want to do here. 3 fights is really nice. 2 question marks. 3 fights, 2 question marks. I mean, that used to be my ideal. More recently, I've decided that we should do it this way. More recently, I've decided that just as many fights as you can do is better than withstanding any Act 1 question marks, because Act 1 question marks are pretty pretty big outliers as to how bad they are. Dagger throw was great. 9 damage, draw a card. Super good. Super, super good. I've for whatever reason been exposed to a lot more tier lists recently on Slay the Spire, which is probably a bad thing, because tier lists do not make you better at playing this game. Tier lists tend to make you worse at playing this game. Don't look at tier lists and don't use them to try and play better. Everything's so context dependent. The only tier lists that are of any sense is things that, and even this is big asterisk, but things that are unaffected by the context of the run. So like floor 1 card pick or floor 0 Niao bonus. You can have tier lists for those reasonably well, but even those are affected by the context of the Act 1 boss and the Act 1 layout. Or in the context of your first card reward, I mean your first card reward is affected by whatever Niao bonus you chose. However, the reason I bring this up is because for whatever reason in the tier, I have been exposed to tier lists recently, and I remember noting that one person had dagger throw as an A tier and dagger spray as like a C or D tier silent card. I love dagger spray, maybe more than I like dagger throw, and maybe that's wrong. It's 1 less damage to a single target, but it's AoE. It's affected by strength buffs more than once. And it has a 4 damage AoE upgrade as opposed to a 3 damage single target upgrade. Anyway, just some things to note, but definitely seeing that made me think, you know what, I should probably value dagger throw at least as highly as I would value dagger spray if this guy is saying that dagger spray is way worse than dagger throw. Okay, we have slime boss, so we should absolutely get rid of a defend. We're just gonna need to try and rush that guy down. Great, 3 attacks on turn 1 against cultist. Hopefully this is a no damage fight. Good, the neutralize on turn 2. Dagger throw bottom deck doesn't really matter. Yeah, it's lethal. Great, no damage here. Why do we have 52 health? When did I take 7 damage? Am I missing something? Did I do something wrong against the lice fight? No, of course. The 7 damage is from the wing statue right here. I got really scared that I just kind of like, oh my gosh. That I just kind of, numb-brained the louse fight and somehow took 7 damage when I shouldn't have. Well, we feel immensely powerful. Don't have full potions. Our potion chance is 40%. We should probably just do this fight, this question mark, instead of 2 question marks. Yep. Nice. I was going to say dagger throw on turn 1 would cleanly kill that 9 health slime. Very lucky for that slime to roll only 9 health. I almost did this not thinking. I guess actually it's fine because of the weaken, but if we didn't have the weaken, we actually are not supposed to play glass knife here. We're far enough ahead in this fight that we could just do no damage that turn and block out and still be fine. But as it was because of the weaken, we were able to, oh my gosh. Tear glass knife. We are really, really far ahead. How far ahead? Are we far ahead enough that we take damage here instead of max HP loss? Probably not. By the way, one of the best Act 1 events you can see, Golden Idol. It means the Act 2 events are way safer. It means the Act 3 events have higher payoff potentials. And of course, just you get so much gold over the course of the run. 25% more gold from all enemies, bosses included. Absurd. This is a really, really good seed. I didn't talk about these card picks. I don't usually insta-pick like this, but holy cow, what a power outlier Glass Knife and Terror are. in Act 1 for Silent. Really good. Okay, 23 damage seems silly. Let's just lose 6 max HP. We could take the injury since removals are so affordable, but it's way better to just remove starter cards aggressively. Okay, we get to upgrade this Glass Knife, one of the best upgrades in the game. It's an 8 damage upgrade. Unbelievable. Terror on turn 1, unbelievable. We'll take the 8 next turn and then kill him with Glass Knife. Ooh, not even take 8. How likely is it that we miss? We get to draw 3 cards out of 12. We would need 2 strikes if we are going to be greedy and play the defend here, which would only save us 2 or 3 life. That seems stupid. Let's just take the, it's not even guaranteed here, we could still miss, but let's just take that greater likelihood of killing him next turn. Yeah, we only drew 1 strike. A Troishka, that's honestly decent at this point. Okay, do we take the escape plan? As just like a free help me block? Since we just face Gremlin Knob, there's no downsides to escape plan until we get to the Chosen in Act 2. It's a pretty big downside against Chosen in Act 2, honestly, though. What's it up against? I don't like Slash that much. I already have a Dagger Throw. We can remove cards aggressively, so we don't need to add like Desperate damage as much, because we can get our deck whittled down to just the few excellent cards we've already added. I don't know if we'll take 2 shops to remove aggressively, but it's something we could do. I think we're okay to skip this also. That's the really nice thing about Glass Knife Terror this early on. Isn't because it gives you like something to build around, it's because it doesn't force you to start building your deck right away. We're strong enough to beat this elite without taking much damage. Or this one, of course, if we want to get the upgrade. Probably not, I mean, definitely not strong enough for Slime Boss yet, but we're strong enough for 3 hallways and an elite fight without really doing anything, it feels like. And so since we know we have 4 card rewards coming up, it's like, let's just look at 4 card rewards and say, hey, in 4 card rewards, we can expect to see many options better than these. What are the cards better than these? An AoE card would be really nice. So all out attack, or I'm still gonna say Dagger Spray is one of my favorite cards, despite looking at tier lists saying that Dagger Spray is a bad card. Another little comment on that. Something that's tricky to do is trying to balance, you know, Act 1 picks, Act 2 picks, where you have to just be like really damage aggressive, and then Act 3 Boss Gauntlet, Act 4 picks, where it's like any card that isn't part of your primary scaling solutions, you just wish you didn't have to have in the deck. And if you're forced to add tons of cards in Act 1 to your deck, one of the hardest parts for Silent in Act 3, Boss Gauntlet, and Act 4 is being able to survive turns when you have to draw past your 10 starter cards, Ascender's Bane, and upwards of like 5, 6, 7 attack cards, basic common attack cards that you added to your deck just to get through Acts 1 and 2. Like if you added 2 Dagger Sprays and Poison Stab, and these cards aren't, you know, I listed those 2 specifically because they basically have no utility by the Boss Gauntlet. Whereas similar cards, like Dagger Throw and Blade Dance, do a similar amount of damage or similarly useful to get you through Acts 1 and 2, but are much, much better by the time you get to the Act 3 boss gauntlet. Dagger Throw, because it at least cycles itself, so you can draw another card. And Blade Dance, depending, right? There are a lot of cards cards and relics that synergize with a card like Blade Dance, where you have a bunch of extra card plays for Ink Bottle, Pen Nib, Nunchaku, any of the ninja relics, you know, Ornamental Fan, Shuriken, Kunai. Pretty extensive list, where it's like, I'm happy to have 1 or 2 Blade Dances in my deck, even for the boss gauntlet. And that's not even a little bit true for a card like Dagger Spray. So Quick Slash is actually kind of better than Dagger Spray in that sense, because it cycles itself. Again, it draws a card. But it's so much worse than Dagger Spray because in Act 1 and 2, because it deals less damage a lot of the time. You know, as I'm describing, it's not that much worse than Dagger Spray. Dagger Spray deals 8 damage, this deals 8 damage. The difference is Dagger Spray is AoE and this is card draw. Which do I care more about? I'm gonna take Quick Slash. Okay, we want to weaken you. And then I think I should target down the Jawworm, even though it starts with much more health than the Acid Slime. It's just a much scarier... By the way, hardest hard pool fight right away. No, not right away. What was... no, yeah, yes, right away, right? This was Wing Statue. Yeah. This is our first pool fight, and right away it's the hardest hard pool fight possible. Exordium Wildlife. Though this is maybe not the hardest combination of Exordium Wildlife, I will also say Exordium Thugs, I think, has a higher risk potential with like a red slaver and a gray slime or something like that. Anyway. Yeah, we get hit pretty hard here. Terror on the bottom definitely sucks. Aggressively. That's okay. We'll save the potion. Take 9 here. He's at what? 13? That's really annoying because 2 strikes don't get there. Is this a take 7 situation? No, I don't think so. Oh, wait. Yes, it is. Because we can't afford to do the terror and double strike and then neutralize him and defend. We don't have the energy, so we need the neutralize for damage here. Double strike to kill, and then we only get to block 5. So I talked about how immensely strong we are, and now here we are just getting wrecked by a measly hallway fight. One of the reasons Dagger Throw is quite a bit better than Quick Slash or a lot of the other damage commons is because it enables Sneaky Strike. Pretty happy to take a Sneaky Strike here. Oh, Anchor's phenomenal. Molten Egg is phenomenal. Makes me wish I hadn't taken these aggressively mediocre attack picks though. But I think we should absolutely take Molten Egg. Makes our deck much better. Makes card rewards much better too. So we could choose to go right. But we're full on potions. And you can see a decent number of card rewards in question marks. There's Dead Adventure and Anger the Mushrooms, which we would love to see both of those. I think those are both second half Act 1 events, and now that I talk about how bad Act 1 events are. Once you get past the chest, they're a lot better, specifically because of those 2 events are available. Those 2 events are not available in the first half of Act 1, but they're like the highest power, like highest reward possibility events in Act 1. So If you ever see people playing Slay the Spire who have this weird shift in their evaluation of question marks in Act 1, that might be why. Oh, but fights are so good because of Golden Idol. I think we should go right. Because of Molten Egg, Golden Idol. Makes a lot of sense. Not a great start. Bottom deck Terror. I mean, we didn't bottom deck it, but it's looking like we might. Well, we just kill him. That's just because Glass Knife is really, really powerful. Okay, Fruit Juice is good. Well, here's a Sneaky Strike plus. I wish I didn't have this Sneaky Strike minus. I would feel so much better about this. I still think it's okay. Sucker Punch is also okay. Sucker Punch is another one that actually doesn't fall off very much in Act 3 and Act 4 because of how important Weak is in the late game. I could see this being a Sucker Punch plus. I kind of like it. And once again, optionality, right? I say once again, I say this in lots of my Slay the Spire recordings, but optionality. If Sneaky Strike is like a purely better card in your deck, you might think that like if one is good, more is better. But not only are there decreasing marginal returns on just like attack commons, but they're decreasing marginal returns on the same card, because you can see both of them in the same hand on a turn where that's not the thing you want to be doing. Slay the Spire is a game where there are lots of things you want to be doing, lots of different types of enemy turns that you're going to be faced with. Most enemies in the game attack most of the, well, every enemy in the game attacks most of the time. There's no enemy in the game who asterisk here. There's basically no enemy in the game that attacks less than 50% of its turns. If you want me to name some of those exceptions, Mystic can be forced to heal often enough that she attacks less than half the time. But the Mystic Centurion fight, you're being attacked more than half the time. Once you kill the Centurion, then it's a little bit different. But of course, by that point, you've already killed the Centurion. So walking into the fight, you still want to, like, you're still under the assumption that, like, they will be attacking me more than half the time. Are there any other exceptions? Enemies that attack less than half the time? I don't think so. Fungi Beast definitely attacks more than it buffs. That'd be an interesting question. You can get back to me in the comments if you can think of any enemy in the game that attacks less than half the time. Oh, another interesting one is... give me one moment. Alright, I'm back. Someone was at my door. Not very typical, but... Alright, it was probably a good thing I was interrupted because I can break my tangent I was on about optionality. But basically, even if Sneaky Strike is a great attack in my deck, and maybe like better than Sucker Punch, I might prefer to take Sucker Punch here because I already have a Sneaky Strike. And so then I have the option on different turns rather than getting stuck on a hand with two Sneaky Strikes and no way to enable either of them. You kind of want to reduce your worst case scenario situations. Anyway, so I think I will take the Sucker Punch. I'm not super excited about it, but I think you kind of do want more sources of weak. We're offered one here. I think it's upgrade. I think we should just take it. Alright, let's draw. And attack. And I think we save the one here. We've got tons of damage in the deck. Yeah, we get lethal here. Cool, cool. Nice, another potion. Catalyst, we're not doing poison. We've cemented ourselves very strongly as a physical damage silent. That even is like enough physical damage to beat bosses. We don't have any poison, so we don't take catalyst. We could take prepared. It enables sneaky strike. We still have 9 starter cards that we're happy to discard, cycle through. We can upgrade the prepared because we're ahead on upgrades because of the molten egg, although we're not pathing aggressively into upgrades because of the smiling mask, so that's kind of a toss-up. I think we take the prepared because it just enables the sneak. One more enabler for sneaky strike I think is actually pretty important. It also is kind of our foot in the door for discard synergies. Okay, so we talked about boss damage. Noxious Fumes is a good one. Just one card that can help us just say, here you go, here's a way to beat the champ. Champ collect, it doesn't help in slime boss very much. Helps a little. So if we're thinking of Act 2 boss, champ, collector, bronze automaton. It's actually pretty good against all 3 of those. Bronze automaton, this is like AoE damage, but it's also scaling damage. So collector has minions. Bronze automaton has artifact charges that Noxious Fumes is actually great for peeling. One of the best utility uses for Noxious Fumes is getting rid of artifact charges. The heart fight applying 2 artifact charges when you need to use Dark Shackles, for example, to get rid of those artifact charges. Well, card removal seems like a no-brainer. Clockwork Souvenir could be really clutch. One of the big things you need to do in every run of Slay the Spire is figure out how to beat the first cycle of the heart. And there are a lot of ways to piece together answers to it, but one big one is figuring out a way to deal with the vulnerable against the heart. There are very few ways, actually, really specific ways to deal with the vulnerable. Orange pellets, Clockwork Souvenir are 2 of them, and those are both shop relics. Here's one of those right now. Another is Odd Mushroom, which is from actually that Act 1 event I mentioned about the 3 fungi beasts. So a lot of these options are like good, but options that I'm being shown that are like irreplaceable power buffs are removing a card and Clockwork Souvenir. There's nothing else in the game that will be offered, even up until Act 3, that will really realistically do the same thing that Clockwork Souvenir will do for us, which is stop the vulnerable from the heart and stop Frail from the Act 2 enemies. So I think this is a no-brainer. So now we can't afford Noxious Fumes, can't afford Dark Shackles. Both of those are nice cards. If I had infinite money, those get bought every time. If I have a lot of money, it's less clear. But we don't have a lot of money. We have enough for a card remove, which I think we should do. We could get rid of a strike now. Against Slime Boss, sometimes you keep the strikes, but I was pretty aggressive in picking common attacks, even though I had seen a Glass Knife Terror, which obviously made me feel very strong. I decided to, you know, hold the line and continue to take Quick Slash, Sneaky Strike, Sucker Punch. So we can remove a strike now. We don't have enough to even remove a card in this shop. Actually, that's probably not true. I don't know how much elites give you, but I think with the golden idol it's probably 19. Which means we could remove another card if we just go to the shop. So which would I rather do? Would I rather upgrade Sneaky Strike? Or would I rather remove a strike? Is Sneaky Strike the upgrade? Terror is a dang good upgrade too, especially with Quick Slash and Dagger Throw. I've run into energy problems. Lots of good upgrades, right? Terror, Sneaky Strike, Prepared, Quick Slash, all really want an upgrade. I can't upgrade even most of those cards. It's kind of frustrating. I think I should upgrade Terror. Lagavulin. Okay. We get to burn an Ascender's Bane there. We're looking for the Terror to open. Very little reason to open without the Terror. Yeah, next turn's going to be a great open. We'll get the Neutralize in the shuffle. Float 2 mana there. Makes the I guess we should Sucker Punch instead of Quick Slash. It's more damage and it saves health next turn. There's the Glass Knife, which is great. Just double defend. We're way ahead on damage. Take 5. Nice. The Sneaky Strike ends it. Cool. What's the relic? Ceramic Fish. Dash. Also interesting. The question we should have asked ourselves before we upgrade Terra was, is this ever a Snecko deck? Sneaky Strike says yes. Nothing else in my deck said yes at the time. I guess Quick Slash kind of says yes. Card draw cards tend to say yes, but if there's 0 cost card draw cards, not really as much. Snecko Eye targets. Anyway, Dash. I mean, this has got to be good, right? We haven't added any real block cards to our deck, so this is like a good block card. It's upgraded because of the Molten Egg. Makes Necronomicurse like a good pick and act too. Like that's something to consider. 13 block is just really solid. I think we should take it. Okay, we do get another upgrade here. Probably Sneaky Strike now. It's a 4 damage upgrade on a card that is theoretically 0 cost. This is a 4 damage upgrade, but Quick Slash doesn't get played as often as Dagger Throw, and probably not as often as Sneaky Strike. So let's take Sneaky Strike. It also helps a lot against Slime Boss, the pure damage upgrade compared to something like Prepared as an upgrade. Oh, Terror on turn 1, you'd love to see it. We don't need Survivor. Okay, he's at 89. So Dagger Throw, Sneaky Strike, and the same 13 is good. That creeps up on the 75 split point really well. Right? 76. Yeah, it's beautiful. Oh yeah, and the next turn we get Dagger Throw, Sneaky Strike lined up. This is perfect. This is as good of a Slime Boss this deck could have had. I kind of hate to miss the shuffle on Sneaky Strike, but I'm not gonna cry about it. Get burnt, slimed. Okay, 30 health. Great split. This turn sucks. What the heck? I mean, we get to block out. Could be worse. Ooh, I didn't even think about that. About to get made weak. Who should we attack? So we've got 11, like a guaranteed of 23 damage. I think we just want to try and split Spike Slime then. Let's see what we draw. Okay. Let's just split him with as much damage as possible. 4 is actually really nice, because that means a weakened strike actually still kills. Um, 13 block is great. 9 damage plus 14 damage. Get just kind of a measly split here. We full block the slime attacking, and now they're all dead to, you know, basic attacks. Nice. Kill you. Take 2. Yeah, this is 100% just a damage race. Slime boss is such a weird Act 1 boss where it's just like, the only thing that matters is damage, just full stop. What an interesting collection of cards here. Nightmare is a nice way to try and win in Act 3 and 4, though none of the cards in our deck are even really good Nightmare targets. Like, technically Nightmare Glass Knife can actually help in Act 2 to burst down like a Chosen if they're taking the turn off, and I happen to draw Nightmare and Glass Knife in the same hand. But more realistically, this is going to be a curse. It's going to be a 3-mana card that doesn't do anything the turn I play it, and I'm going to be facing enemies like Avocado Rat that are dealing 27 damage on turn 1, and I can't even begin to imagine spending 3 energy on a Nightmare. Corpse Explosion. It's kind of like it's weird synergy with all these debuffs I have. Terror and Sucker Punch, I guess, are the debuffs I've added to my deck, but we have all these ways to peel Artifact. So the Corpse Explosion debuffs land more often, and or the Corpse Explosion is able to strip Artifact to make the Terror debuff land more often. And then it helps me solve AoE fights, which right now I maybe really need help with. Slaver specifically is hard to deal with. I don't know, maybe that's wrong. Gosh, it's so weird. I used to think of this as like an AoE solution, but recently I discovered after losing to like Reptomancer multiple times over and over, I realized one of the big reasons you take AoE cards in your deck is not because actually of multi-enemy fights in Act 2, of which there are many, and against which AoE cards are good. Not because of multiple enemy fight, elite fights like Slavers, or I guess Slavers is the only multi-enemy elite fight besides the one I'm about to mention, which is really the AoE in your deck matters for those elite fights that summon more people to their side. That killing off those enemies matters greatly as to whether or not the main enemy is going to be a nightmare to deal with or not. So of course I'm talking about Gremlin Leader and Reptomancer. Why is Dagger Spray so good to have at least one copy of in every silent deck? Because when you face Gremlin Leader, you need to deal on average 40 damage split among 2 enemies every couple of turns or so. 40 damage is a lot, right? Even if you have a really high octane deck like I do, I can't realistic play Terror on the minions. So how am I dealing this 40 damage? This is 24. This is 16, so I guess that's 40. Glass Knight Sneaky Strike, which is nice. And then the next pair show up, and how do I deal 40 this time? Well, I can't do it with Glass Knife because I either didn't draw it again, or Glass Knife has been decreased in its power level. So I like have dash dagger throw. That's, you do the math, 22 damage. I kill one gremlin, so now I can't force Gremlin Leader to attack again. And I'm getting hit for, or I can't force Gremlin Leader to summon again, so I'm getting attacked for like 40 damage because Gremlin Leader has buffed herself and the minion that I couldn't kill. And maybe I'm also weak and frail because the minion was a fat gremlin. Okay, you see, these things start to spiral. What's a big solution to that? Well, Dagger Spray, even though it's an 8 damage card as opposed to Dagger Throw being a 9 damage card, it's AoE, so if I play a Dagger Spray, that's actually 16 damage for 1 energy right there. Okay, and then the same thing happens in the Reptomancer fight. I'll spare you the details, but the point is, Corpse Explosion, which seems like a solution to AoE fights, doesn't... I guess it does help in those fights, right? And it pairs especially well with Glass Knife. Oh, a single target. Or Sneaky Strike Plus. A single target high damage card that lets me finish off a minion that I've Corpse Explosioned. Because one problem with Corpse Explosion is it does a very small amount of damage on its own, and it's 2 energy. Which means if you're actually going to use it to deal with the gremlins, you need to have a way to kill... Basically, you need a way to deal 20 damage, 18 damage with a single card. Right? If you have a 24 health Mad Gremlin, Corpse Explosion will deal 6 to it. So you need to deal 18 damage with just 1 more energy if you didn't get an energy relic. Which a lot of times you don't. Either because you're not shown them or because you're shown something that's too powerful to skip, like a pyramid. So I think Corpse Explosion... Anyway, I've talked myself back into Corpse Explosion. I was going to say Corpse Explosion actually doesn't solve AoE fights in the way you want it to, because of the way enemies keep resummoning in 2 very crucial fights in the game. Corpse Explosion works in those fights if you specifically have the nice, you know, assassinate a target type of cards to go along with it. And we don't have any other AoE. And then of course this is really good in the birds fight. That's one that comes to mind, where it's like, oh, Corpse Explosion is a nice power outlier. It's good in Donu Deca. It's good in Spire, Spear, and Shield. It can be good in Collector and Bronze Automaton. Can even be good in the champ fight if somehow we find ourselves needing to stall out the fight and just stack poison. This is a poison card. It is. It's not a very good poison card, but it's a poison card. I think this is Corpse Explosion. Now, Malaise is also one of the best silent rares. So why am I not talking about Malaise right now? I already have an extra source of weak, which is really nice. That doesn't make Malaise bad. It's a marginal decrease in the quality of Malaise. One of the best things about Malaise is, you know, at the end of Act 1, a lot of times it's your first weak card you've added to the deck, and now you have a way to really tame certain enemies in the game. Well, Sucker Punch kind of bails us out in some of those cases. Now, Malaise is still just... Oh man, maybe I'm talking myself into Malaise here. Malaise is an irreplaceable commodity against Book of Stabbing, Time Eater, and the Heart. Awakened one, too. The Corpse Explosion performs pretty well in that fight. You know, not that important against any of the Act 3 elites. It's kind of nice to extol its virtues against Nemesis, but in reality, it's like by the time you get to Act 3, you don't give a hoot about 7x3. You care about 45 damage coming from Nemesis, and Malaise does almost nothing against 45 damage, honestly. Except for the extent that it applies weak against the 45 damage, but like I said, we've got an extra outlet of weak compared to what maybe you would normally expect for Silent at this point in the game. So this is tough. I could still see Malaise being the pick, but I'm leaning towards Corpse Explosion as this kind of glass cannon build, right? Malaise is pretty slow, and we're not trying to stall out for anything. We're just trying to kill very quickly with Terror, Glass Knife, Sneaky Strike. Dash and Sucker Punch give us just enough stall for us to get the killing blow, and then against certain fights, Corpse Explosion means that sneaking out that killing blow just in time actually solves the fight for us, so like Slavers and Birds and Triple Cultist. Triple Jawworm in Act 3. We're gonna take Corpse Explosion. Runic Dome. Malaise is probably better against Runic, with Runic Dome. I'm thinking specifically because of the Heart fight, where you can deal with the multi-attack on turn 1 by just playing Malaise if you see it, or turn 2, and not having to worry if the multi-attack is coming on turn 2 or turn 3 to try and line up your Piercing Wail with it. Okay, Runic Dome is also especially good with Glass Cannon builds because you don't need to care what the enemy is doing. If you're just killing them fast, you're not stalling out, you're not trying to play around turn after turn of what the enemy might be doing, you're just dealing lots of damage and you're doing it quickly. A card like Dash actually pairs really well with Runic Dome. Okay. On the other hand, we have Slaver's Collar, which is the same amount of energy in the most important fights in the game without the huge downside. Silent in particular struggles against Time Eater, and Time Eater is the most difficult enemy to deal with Runic Dome against, because he can be attacking you for either 54 damage or no damage, and you don't get to know. And that disparity is just unparalleled compared to the other Runic Dome problems in the game. In fact, a lot of the fights are actually kind of scripted. Donu Deka is completely scripted. You know exactly what they're doing. Spear and Shield is mostly scripted. That one can get tricky past the first few turns, but the first 3 turns of Spear and Shield are really the only ones that are extremely difficult and matter. And the first 3 are basically the same every time. The Heart is mostly scripted. Silent has an especially interesting problem against the Heart and Runic Dome, which I just mentioned about lining Piercing Wail up at the right time. We don't have a Piercing Wail in a deck. We don't have a Well-Laid Plans in our deck. Who knows how we're going to deal with the Heart's multi-attack, but for now, most of the Heart is scripted. You know that it's every 3 turns it's not attacking, and then for 2 turns in a row it's attacking you for a reasonably large amount. And after it attacks you the first time, you even know exactly how much it is the second time. So this list of important enemies that are completely scripted makes Runic Dome not matter very much. Something else, I spent a long time talking about summon fights, Reptomancer and Gremlin Leader. Those are some of the most difficult Runic Dome fights as well, because well, they're just not scripted, whereas most of the other elites are scripted. Nemesis is not scripted. Nemesis is a pretty bad Dome fight, actually. But Giant Head is not, and the other 2 Act 2 elites are not. They're totally scripted. But Corpse Explosion, I think, makes me characteristically strong against a Runic Dome Gremlin Leader. Okay, and here's the other thing. I still think hallways are pretty good for us because of Molten Egg and Golden Idol. Which means I want to be good against hallway fights, which means I don't want to take Slaver's Collar and then run into Avocado and be like, well, my life sucks. Right? 1 energy Avocado is going to suck in this deck. 4 energy Avocado, like with Runic Dome, not bad at all. We know what he's doing on turn 1, and then the rest of the turns are mostly scripted. And then we have 4 energy to do stuff like Terror, Dash, Sucker Punch, Dagger Throw. which blocks out on turn 1 and deals a ton of damage. I think I've talked myself into Runic Dome. Hovering Kite was maybe a consideration too, but we only have the 3 discard cards. Could pick more. I wonder if that was a Hovering Kite pick. I don't tend to trust Hovering Kite, but I should have thought about it a little bit more. Okay, I really like this Fire Elite in the second half of Act 2. So leading up to it, we can do Fire Burning Elite. Kind of nice if we think we're especially good against Act 2 elites, which I think we are. Anchor helps a lot. By the way, I didn't mention this. I thought about it, but Anchor with Runic Dome is another really big win for Runic Dome. Okay, take a bunch of question marks here in the beginning. Get a shop here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go for the mega question mark. Fine. Okay, let's go for you. Great. We block out, and he's gonna kill everyone as soon as we draw. We have a 50-50 to draw right away, our Corpse Explosion. If we miss, the good news is both of these guys were attacking. We got our Corpse Explosion right away. So look at that. I mean, Corpse Explosion just made that phenomenally easier for us. Well, there's a Dagger Throw Plus, and there's a Well-Laid Plans. Well-Laid Plans is typically one of my most, like, don't even think about it, take it type of cards. It's a lot worse with Runic Dome, because we don't know nearly as much what we're saving for what. Also, Glass Cannon decks tend to not care for well-laid plans as much, because the fights are shorter, and the turns are more straightforward. Just deal as much damage as you can. Let Anchor and Dash and Weakness do the heavy lifting for survival considerations. You know, a Dagger Throw Plus, I think, might be in order. Goes well with the Sneaky Strike Plus. It cycles itself. We took an extra energy. It's upgraded. Let's do it. Okay, I don't mind losing a skill potion. I feel very strong right now, so I feel like we can just wait for... I don't anticipate needing to save these potions for any fight in particular, or use them as a panic button for any fight in particular. It's also hard to use them as a panic button with Runic Dome, more so than usual. So lots of reasons I want to save the 81 gold and get Art of War. Not great in our deck. Frozen Eye. So I was thinking about, do we want to take a bunch of Acts 2 question marks? We've got this option here to do 2 more question marks. And one of the big questions you have to ask yourself with that is apparitions and bites. I think we're pretty bad. We're very uniquely good and bad with both apparitions and bites compared to most runs. So compared to most runs, why are we better than normal? Because of ceramic fish. That's the big reason why. Bites actually represents 45 extra gold to take. Kind of a huge deal. Okay. And same thing with apparitions. Apparitions represents 27 extra gold. That's not as big of a deal. Why are we uniquely bad with apparitions and bites? Runic Dome with apparitions is a downside. You don't know if you need to be intangible this turn and next turn, or just one or the other. Or is it an upside? Because you don't need to know how much they're attacking for, you just block out with a single apparition. You know, I could see it both ways. It's also kind of good with Art of War. And I was going to say our deck is actually uniquely bad with bites because of Smiling Mask. where we can remove a strike right now. Right, that's why we're talking about this, is because the reason I brought this up is because should we remove a strike right now? And if we thought we were going to be yes to bites, we probably shouldn't remove a strike. I don't know, removing a defend seems fine. Defends suck in this deck. We don't have footwork. Ah, but strikes suck too, because we have Art of War. No, that doesn't make strikes suck. We're never going to play like 3 defends and a survivor to try and trigger Art of War. We're always going to be playing dagger throw and sucker punches and dashes. That's a silly argument. Art of War is not going to change much this run. It's not going to help much, and it's not going to cause us to make decisions to try and get it to help more than it already does. So removing a strike is better than removing a defend, even though we have... No, it's the other way around. Removing a defend is similar to removing a strike, because neither of them we want to play basically ever, and I'm saying we should remove a defend because of bites. Sure. It's good enough for me. Okay, do we want any of this other stuff? I don't think we want to pay for a dagger throw plus. We already have 2. Might even be too many already. Okay, and then Frozen Eye is the other thing. Frozen Eye is a little bit trickier with Runic Dome because it's another thing like Well-Laid Plans where it's like you're planning ahead, but you don't know what you're planning for since you can't necessarily know what your enemies are doing on future turns because you don't know what they're doing on this turn. Although we can't exactly afford Frozen Eye card removal. Are there any other shops coming up? There is, right here. So let's not buy Frozen Eye. It seems like not a huge power increase for its cost, given that we have another shop coming up. A surprise fight. Don't love that. We should dash because it breaks the plated armor. Okay, he's weak next turn, and we've already dealt 30 damage and removed 3 plated armor, and we're not frail. Is he dead? This is 24. Yeah, he's dead. Super dead. There's our potion back. Here's a Caltrops. Caltrops is pretty damage efficient against the heart, but not much else, right? Yeah, it's so much less damage than all of these cards right here, basically. For a long time. So I think we should skip that. And then should we take these? No. We're solving our energy problem by just sucking up the fact that we have to deal with Runic Dome. Yes, please. That's why I took Dash. I have Sneaky Strike, and Economic Curse is great. It's really good. Nilry's Codex is also good, but I was kind of hoping we'd get a nice, cute Necronomicurse. Curse. Okay, let's go for this Burning Elite. We've got 2 potions at the bar. Don't think we need to rest. We can upgrade Prepared. Pretty good. Although it's becoming less and less important. The fewer starter cards we have in our deck, we could upgrade a Corpse Explosion. That seems weird. We could upgrade a Quick Slash. I like upgrading Prepared because we're very likely to add a Reflex to the deck at this point since we have 2 Dagger Throws in the deck and a relatively small deck. Okay, it's Book of Stabbing. Max HP Book of Stabbing is terrifying. Let's drink a colorless potion on turn 1. Apotheosis. How much does Apotheosis help? Surely it helps a ton. This Dagger Throw, these strikes, this neutralize, the defends. Yeah, let's go Apotheosis. Oh yeah, Nilry's. Do I want Slice? We've got 4 energy every turn. I think we will reasonably run out of cards in our hand to attack with if we take a slice. I think we should skip. Okay, that's good. He wasn't attacking for 24 on turn 1. He's not likely to, but it's always a risk. We have to Glass Knife. We need to, might as well Sucker Punch because of the way the breakpoint works. So is Corpse Explosion ever going to be 24 damage? 9, then 8, then 7 is 24. So it'll take 3 turns to catch up. Can we ever kill next turn? How much damage do we have next turn? This is only 18. Yeah, we don't ever kill next turn, which means, by the way, blocking for nothing this turn. Okay, that's Malaise against Book of Stabbing. Do I even want to Malaise? How often do I have lethal next turn? Not that often, right? Sometimes. If we strike now. Okay, see ya, Malaise. Yeah, put a finisher in there, that'll help us kill next turn. Okay, Shuriken. I think these are all a skip. We don't need the extra weak from Crippling Cloud as much because we took a Sucker Punch. Probably gonna rest at this fire. That was a bit of a tough fight. It was the Burning Elite though, and we got it out of the way. Membership card. Hello. And then card removal. Man, membership card's so good with Ceramic Fish and Golden Idol. Huge. Do we want a good Instincts in the deck? Honestly, maybe that's what we need. Do we want a backflip? Maybe that's what we need. Interesting. I can't take both. Card removal just got way less good because Smiling Mask is effectively costing us 100 gold per removal. We've already removed so many too. I don't think we need to do this. I think we should take Backflip or Good Instincts. Backflip is so much cheaper. And the card draw is nice. Mob Bank is huge with membership card. Centennial Puzzle is pretty dang good. I think we should take it. I think we should rest here. See if we can fight 2 more elites. We're not attacking this turn. Okay, we just need to draw a Corpse Explosion. I don't need die. There's no reason not to take Escape Plan. There it is. And it's even lethal right now. How about that? Because of the extra strength from Shuriken. Crazy. Awesome, awesome. Okay, we're gonna take a break. I'm gonna go eat dinner, and we'll be right back. Alright, I'm back from dinner. I've been able to think long and hard about this decision. I decided I don't want to deflect in a dodge and roll. I don't have enough card draw for deflect, and dodge and roll is not very efficient. I don't have any dexterity scaling. So the question is, do I want this well-laid plans? I skipped well-laid plans earlier for this dagger throw plus, I believe, which I think was the first card reward of the act. I've skipped a lot of cards then. It's kind of questionable. With a 21 card deck, that makes a little bit more sense. We're not trying to dilute the strikes and defends nearly as aggressively. Okay, so the well-laid plans. Here's the deal. I mentioned this when I skipped it the first time. It was not a well-laid plans plus, but I also mentioned well-laid plans is not nearly as good as it usually is with runic, because of runic dome. I think it's still quite good. So the question is, I also said it's not as good as in the glass cannon deck because the fights don't last so long for us to set things up. And that's still true. So we're in a situation right now where I think right now it's actually not going to make our deck much better, if at all. Well, there are two use cases for well-laid plans. Either you're saving specific cards for specific turns. That's much less plausible with Runic Dome, but still a thing. However, in our deck, there aren't really any cards we want to save for specific turns, because we're just an aggressive deck. Okay. The other use case for well-laid plans, however, is lining up cards that work together. Our deck doesn't have combo cards that need to be lined up together, like Nightmare and something, or Burst and something. Those are really big ones. But it does have 2 Sneaky Strikes. Does it? Wait, does it just have 1 Sneaky Strike? Oh. Yeah, I had a chance to get a second Sneaky Strike plus and I skipped it. Do I wish I had a second Sneaky Strike? I kind of do. With the well-laid plans anyway. Weird. Okay, we still got 2 elite fights left. Anyway, I'm gonna take it. The other thing I was gonna mention that I thought about during my dinner is that it's very good with the cards we don't yet have that we want to have. So, Wraith form, I would love to pick a Wraith form from the boss. And well-laid plans is going to make that much better, so we can hold it until the exact turn that we need it. In lots of fights. Piercing Wail, even against the heart, we have a better than 50-50 of landing that Piercing Wail, because once you see that the first attack is not the multi-attack, if you've been saving the Piercing Wail with well-laid plans, you just get to use it on the second attack of the cycle. If you miss that 50-50, however, you have the next cycle. So every cycle you just assume it'll be the second attack. But you don't have to waste the Piercing Wail guessing that it's going to be the second attack. If it's not the second attack, you just wait until the following cycle. Of course, you can't survive endless cycles in the heart fight, but 2 or 3 cycles are reasonable, which means slightly better than 50% chance that if we grab a Piercing Wail, this well-laid plans will allow us to take no damage on the multi-attack against the heart. So I think we should take the well-laid plans. Okay, no potions here. A little scary. This is interesting. So Corpse Explosion is going to finish the fight for us. Probably. Though you probably don't want to rush down Taskmaster because he's just like... The difference of 8 health to kill Taskmaster is actually a pretty big deal. Whereas if like we're 8 damage off of lethal on Taskmaster and we've got the Corpse Explosion, we can take an immense amount more damage than we would if we had just been going for Blue Slaver and we do have the corpse explosion ready to go, and it kills him. Now, technically, it's the same thing as Red Slaver, where he's like even less than Blue Slaver. The difference is, if you just kill Red Slaver, corpse explosion, if you just like barely get that lethal, corpse explosion doesn't kill any other slavers. And 3 extra health is way different than 8 extra health as far as your likelihood of being just a little bit off of lethal. The only last consideration, however, is that I would much rather have Red Slaver be weak this turn, because he's guaranteed to be attacking for 14, whereas Blue Slaver could be attacking for only 8. And so playing Neutralize on the Red Slaver is better. So I'm going to Dagger Throw the Red Slaver. Okay, well that's not great. This is probably not a well-laid plans fight also, by the way. It doesn't last very long. Okay, we take a little bit of damage here. But we get to draw some extra cards because of Centennial Puzzle. So now we're very close to Corpse Explosion, nearly a guarantee. There it is. And now we also have the kill on the other enemies. So it didn't matter that we attacked Red Slaver first. Except for the fact that we managed to weaken him as opposed to weakening the front guy. I will say we got unlucky, the front guy attacking us for 13 instead of 8, so basically we lost 5 extra health there. Compared to the world where we win that roll and he's actually attacking for less health. However, I don't think it's 50-50. I think he is more likely to be like dealing 13 damage on turn 1. And he was, so that's a bummer, but it's whatever. Oh yeah, also about well-laid plans with Nilri's Codex. We've got time to find cards that matter whether or not we hold on to them with the well-laid plans. So that's another reason to add the well-laid plans to the deck. Toy Ornithopter's nice. Here's the Malaise back. I think we take it. We're a 4 energy deck, which we didn't know we would be at the time when we skipped the Malaise and the boss choice. And Malaise is not up against Corpse Explosion. It's just up against Cloak and Dagger and Finisher, neither of which I think are exceptional in this deck. Finisher's not bad. We do have a lot of attacks, but Malaise is, I think, just better. Malaise is great. For all the reasons we mentioned before. This is actually kind of a sigh of relief. I was thinking about, man, this deck would be so much stronger if we had maybe just 1 less Quick Slash in it. This is probably the weakest card in the deck that we've added. Be a much tighter deck, 21 cards. Only 8 of which are starter cards / Ascender's Bane. Still a lot, but we still have Smiling Mask. We can still get rid of more. I mean, and we can still be picky with our, this is upgrades with Quick Slash, and we still have this Molten Egg, so we're likely to see the upgraded cards that we want later. And I was thinking about, like, was I too scared when I took this Quick Slash? Was I playing too scared in Act 1 with the Tear and Glass Knife Plus? Did I add too many cards to my deck that's going to make this deck really flounder in Act 3 and 4? Because I was thinking about, I'm like, these Glass Cannon decks shine in Act 1 and 2, and you farm the Act 2 elites, and then you get to Act 3 bosses, and you just don't have a win condition. And you can't keep up. They have 250 health, and maybe you steam through 200 of... I'm sorry, I was thinking about Donu Deka, who each have 250 health. Time Eater has not 800, right? Or is it 800? He's got a lot of health. No, he's got 480, right? Yeah, he's got 480 health. And the Awakened one, between its minions and its 2 health pools, has like 800 health. It's crazy. And so suddenly your strategy for Act 1 and Act 2 falls apart, which was, Terror, Glass Knife, Dagger Throw, Sneaky Strike, just tear through them and just move on, don't worry about blocking, don't worry about scaling. So if you get to a threshold where you're good enough to beat Act 1 and 2, you want to hit the brakes and suddenly be like, okay, now I'm just going to be aggressively adding scaling, blocking, long game cards to my deck. Just enough of, like, as many of them as we can without making our deck too weak against Act 1 and 2 still. As we're coming into the end of Act 2, it feels like we're pretty far ahead, although that was a tough fight. So maybe I was happy to Quick Slash. But we didn't play Quick Slash, right? Yeah. But we could have. I don't know, with 2 dagger throws now, it seems a little redundant. Anyway, point is, we'll see if one day we get to Act 3 and 4 and lose, and decide that it was because we were a little bit too afraid in Act 1. Although we took the Sucker Punch instead of that Sneaky Strike, and this Sucker Punch is going to play a lot better in Act 3 and 4 compared to the other Sneaky Strike we could have taken over this Sucker Punch. It was a Sneaky Strike +2 and took the Sucker Punch instead. And that actually ends up being a very good thing in our favor. I think we've really optimized for everything that we need to overcome to win. Preserved Insect helps a ton against Spear and Shield. That's 100% take. It also helps in this elite fight. Though I don't know if we'll need it. We'll see, we might. Don't know if we're being attacked. This is the hardest fight for Dome. Well, I think it's... I wish this dealt 1 extra damage. I think it's Corpse Explosion, Sucker Punch, Strike on the Mad Gremlin, and just hope Gremlin Leader's not attacking. It's like a 50-50. And even if she is, we're blocking for 10, so it's not a big deal. I'll take that Wraith form. Okay, she's 75% to be summoning, but if she's attacking, we're taking a lot. Although we get to melees, so it'll be 15 that we would take if we did not play Survivor. If we did play Survivor, then instead of 7 times 3, it's 8 times 3 with weak, which is 18, so we would take 10. So this would save us 5 health, 75% of the time. No, 25% of the time, which means it only saved us like 2 or 3 health to Survivor right now. So would we spend 2 or 3 average health in order to get an extra strength reduction on her? I think we would. Please be summoning. You want to dash? No, right? Here's the bad thing about Nilru's Codex. With the Molten Egg and the Smiling Mask and the aggressive removals, our upgrade density is so high that adding like just normal cards to the deck is not that strong. We could add Tactician, but I think we're going to have enough mana for everything. We're definitely going to have enough mana for everything because of Art of War. We could take a Blur, but I don't think we should. I think we should just... Ooh, that sucks. Although it does reward us for not adding Blur or anything crazy to the deck because we just have Lethal now. But geez, I am very sad that we lost the 75%er, I guess. We hit the 25% bad situation when she was attacking. We had so much extra damage. I wonder if we misplayed that. Could be at 15 right now. Okay, these aren't good. We can just skip these. Not what we're looking for. Tungsten Rod is nice though. Very happy about that. I think we should rest here. This is a hard fight. I don't know what we're gonna do about Hyper Beam. I guess Sucker Punch and Dash and Pray. And Nilru's Codex, right? That's another. And Rest. Rest is the other thing we're gonna do about Hyper Beam. Corpse Explosion is nice. Get rid of these artifact charges, and then just well-laid plants, I guess. And then save the energy, probably. Hold on to, do I want any of these in my deck? I think I don't. We're too likely to take damage for Masterful Stab to be good. And 16 damage for 1 energy is worse than Sneaky Strike, similar to Dagger Throw, worse than Glass Knife Plus. So I think we skip, and we hold on to Dash Quick Slash. Some Shuriken procs can help us get through this fight a little bit more reliably. But yeah, we're being attacked by Bronze here for, what, 16? Yeah, 16. We're gonna need to land Terror on the Bronze guy, for sure. I think we toss the Ascender's Bane, Sneaky Strike. Okay, we take a little bit here, but we get to draw extra cards, so that's not even a bad thing. Phantasmal Killer helps a lot. Okay, good. That's what we wanted to see. Neutralize, so Terror can land. Phantasmal Killer, Dagger Throw, Prepared to skip the shuffle on these strikes and stuff. Ooh, Sneaky Strike. Okay, we can get the kill on the guy in the back. And this guy's not attacking. Should we hold on to backflip? Just because we need to block? Probably. But I don't know, Sucker Punch Dagger throws a lot of damage with the double damage next turn. We're only getting hit for 24 max, which with Tungsten Rod is actually quite a bit less than that. Malaise doesn't do anything in this fight. Skip these. Let's try and use that double damage next turn to really punch through this fight. Okay, let's use this potion too. Yeah, this is pretty nice. Do we want Nightmare on anything? No, not in this shuffle. Do we want Die? Yeah, I guess we do that or Dagger Throw. I guess we'll take the Dagger Throw. Okay, we only get hit for 7 there, not a huge deal. And this is why we take Dagger Throw. Oh, are we just dead next turn though? Maybe not with dash, or can we kill? This is 51 damage. Oh, what are our chances of killing next turn if we play dash here? Because it's 51 damage right now. I need to look up Bronze Automaton Slay the Spire. How much does it block for? That's what I need to figure out. 12 block. So if we deal 51, we need to deal 52 more damage. How likely are we to get 52 damage? We'll only have 4 energy. But we will have 4 strength, but not... it'll be vulnerable. So... let's say we get Dagger Throw, Sneaky Strike. this is 18. This is 24. 18 plus 24 is what? 24 plus 10 is 34 plus 8 is 42. So we would just need 10 more damage after that. So oh no, it's much more than that because of the strength. Right, it's 8 more than that. Okay, so Dagger Throw Sneaky Strike just does it on its own next turn. How good is Poison Stab? How good is Slice? Let's put a Slice in there. I think Slice is gonna help, especially with a Corpse Explosion. Yeah, we got there. Okay. Okay, killed before Hyper Beam. Good, good, good. Got a potion back. That's also great. These are not exactly what I wanted to see. Oh, there's my straw. I have a drink here from my dinner that I'm gonna put this straw in. So Burst does... it works with Malaise, actually. That's a nice combo against Time Eater and Awakened One. Not really against Donu Deca. Although if we make it a Malaise Plus, quite a bit better against Donu Deca. Because you can spend down to just burst Malaise and just play Malaise for 0 energy, but still get the artifact peels off. Bullet Time just seems like a clear no. We don't have very much card draw, and we already took our extra energy, so we don't need a ton of energy help. Doesn't work with Malaise. Doesn't do anything for Prepared or Terror. Doesn't really do anything with Sneaky Strike, assuming we already get the 2 energy discount from Sneaky Strike, which we usually do because we have the 2 Dagger Throws. So is it Burst? It's definitely not 1000 Cuts either. We play, like on average, like 5 cards a turn. Maybe less. That's optimistic. 5 cards a turn. So do I want a Burst? It doesn't feel splendid. I guess Burst Corpse Explosion though is like on its way to a damage solution against some bosses. Not really. We don't have a Phantasmal Killer in the deck. We just got it from Nilri's Codex. There are lots of skills we can find from Nilri's Codex that make Burst a lot better, especially with Shuriken implications. We also don't have a Wraith form. That was also found from Nilri's Codex in an earlier fight. This is tough. Dang, I wish this was Necronomicurse. It'd be so much better, because then Dash is like a legitimate block solution. Well, with Art of War, maybe we take another Energy Relic. Suddenly Burst Malaise is like an actual legitimate block solution against Time Eater. 100%. Time Eater just solved. And I think I would add a card to my deck just to solve Time Eater. Right, let's say we take another energy, so we're a 5 energy deck, and then we just set up with Art of War, and then hold on with our Well-Laid Plans, Burst Malaise. We would have 6 energy on that turn, so Burst Malaise would do -10 strength. That's yeah, and then 10 weak. That's just, well, it's a solid for the first half. You do have to be careful against Time Eater because he gets rid of that strength down. But we can just stall until Nilrees gives us another malaise or some poison stuff. Something, something. Got this clockwork souvenir too. So we don't want to panic too much against our block solution against the heart. Not being vulnerable is a big step in the right direction. Although we only have 65 health. Not great, but Spear and Shield should be much easier because we took this preserved insect, so that'll be nice. Though we still need the blue key. Matryoshka's used up. Oh, but we have 420 gold in this membership card. So I think Burst gives us the most options. These kind of suck. I think it's got to be Fusion Hammer. The extra energy means that we can take some more backflips freely. Acrobatics will be very good. Lots of reasons to take the extra energy. Ring of the Snake. Now I am a little sad I can't upgrade this burst or malaise. Both of those are good with an upgrade, but I think it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. The extra energy is like having an upgrade for malaise, actually, so that's a good way to think about it. Okay, 2 early shops. I like that a lot. We already have our green key, so we can just optimize for shops and elites. Fires aren't super important, although they're still good, like question mark fire shop. Question mark looks like the best post-chest act we can do. The elite fire here is similar, but probably a little less good because of, I was gonna say because of 3 hallways, but maybe 3 hallways is good because of Golden Idol. Also involves double elite path before the chest, though so does this. So I guess it just comes down to, do we like question marks? Because this way we get 1, 2 question marks for the whole act. This way we could get 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 extra question marks. Do we like Act 3 question marks? Madness probably sucks. Falling is worse than usual because we have fewer starter cards than Silent is used to having, although honestly, we could remove almost any of these attacks and feel like we came out ahead. Not so much with the defense, but Quick Slash, Dagger Throw minus, or any of the 4 strikes. Or Neutralize, probably. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attacks out of 1, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Out of 12 total attacks that are a win for falling. So falling is, I think, usually... Well... Here's the thing though, would you rather spend a whole floor would you want to spend a floor to get a 7 out of 12 chance that you get to remove a card that you want to, and a 5 out of 12 chance that you have to remove a card that you don't want to? Probably not. That probably sucks. So then we can ask, is Orb Walkers good? Is Mind Bloom good? Like, those tend to be the best, and I think we're good in both of those events. I think this deck is very good against Orb Walkers. But and they give a lot of gold, right? Let's look up how much gold does the Orb Walkers event give. Events, Act 3. Okay, there's also the Maui head, which is good with Golden Idol, I think, is the one. Sensory Stone is really good. Red Mask one is terrible because we don't have the red mask and we don't want to buy it because of how precious our gold is because of membership card. Secret portal is terrible. List of events, shared events, common events, semi-common events. Can I get the like the percentage of each event? That would be nice. Elites, bosses, categories, events. Yeah, I don't know how likely each of these events are. I'll just have to kind of go off of instinct on this. But Maui Head, you can get 333 gold for giving up the golden item, which is really good. Two extra events. And then it's an extra elite fight. So the question is, are we good at elite fights? Maybe that's the question we should spend more time thinking about, because this goes elite fire, whereas this has no elite up here, but they both have a similar elite pathing early on here. So are we good at elite fights? I think we're okay at elite fights. Actually, Giant Head probably screws us, right? Giant Head is probably very, very hard. Yeah, I don't think we're good at Act 3 elites, especially, so I think we should go left. Although this shop can help a lot, but we're gonna have to fight Act 3 events anyway, so it'll be nice to rest here. And then, yeah, and then I'm gonna bank on these events being good. This is probably the best fight we could have encountered, so thank goodness for that. Already picked up a burst. Yeah, we don't need any of this. Although it's cool to be offered a nightmare. That can go a long way in some other fights. Oh dear. We have 15 plus 10 is 25 plus 12 is 37, so we're like 4 off of lethal, except we don't have energy for that, so we're actually quite a bit more off of lethal. So we're taking 16 or 21 damage. If we sucker punch though, it becomes 12 or 16 damage, which is 11 or 15 with the tungsten rod. Still, that kind of sucks. Jeez Louise. I guess I'll use Gambler's Brew. We'll just take the kill. Cultist Potion, nice. Backflip plus, nice. Really nice. Really, really, really nice. Footwork, nice. Good instincts, good. Captain's Wheel is also good. I think we're going to need that free block on turn 3 a lot of the time. Okay, we spent a ton of gold there, but we had a ton of gold because of membership. Man, buying a rare relic, that is a sight. Rare relics are so expensive, but with Golden Idol membership card, we could just afford to do so. We still have a bunch of gold for the next shop. We bought everything useful in that shop. Okay, good. No Darklings. I hate Darklings. It's not our hardest fight. I just hate it. Okay, we could be taking a little bit of damage here. We'll see. I think we should corpse explode this guy. Footwork. Neutralize. Defend. Yeah, just like this. Take another footwork. It's not bad. Dang it. Thank goodness. Okay. No damage taken. Okay, kill this guy. Footwork, burst, defend. Sure, Noxious Fumes should solve this fight for us. We can just end turn. Don't need a second Noxious Fumes. We want to make sure we can block out frequently. Sure, Corpse Explosion helps. I'll just do this the funny way, where I malaise him down, so he's like absolutely not a problem. Nothing to set up. GG's. Lots of extra clicks because of Nilrees and well-laid plans. Eviscerate plus. Who's our boss? Awaken one? That's a lot of extra damage in the deck. With 2 dagger throws, a prepared, and a survivor. I actually think we like this. Nice. Tons of gold. Okay, we've definitely been rewarded for taking these question marks. I guess that's just one question mark. We'll see how the others pan out. Oh, of course, the classic Spaghetti Monster Runic Dome. This is terrifying. Oh no. I have no idea what's going on. Do we want another burst in here? Absolutely, for the malaise. Okay, that's a good start. Let's do it this way. Okay, we're blocking for a ton, just hopefully we're not getting cursed. I'll take a footwork. Okay. Got some free block this turn. Should we backflip to look for bursts or well-laid plans? Didn't get either, that's okay, don't want those. Okay, that's the best intent, got lucky there, and now we're in trouble. Dang. Dang, dang, no block cards. Could I have added a Cloak and Dagger to the deck? Is that what I'd skipped? I should have checked if I had any block cards coming up, because I didn't. Hopefully it's the multi-attack, since it has -4 strength and we have Tungsten Rod. That's like our only hope. Nope, it was the big one. That was the worst one. I would have preferred to take a curse rather than 37 damage. Unbelievable. we ever have lethal here? It's kind of close, right? I think we do have lethal. Fear Potion's nice. Cloak and Dagger Plus. That's legit with Shuriken, Footwork, Burst. Absolutely, get in here. Okay, do we need to rest? Give up an elite fight because the spaghetti monster fight just went really, really poorly. Elite fights don't go better for us, right? Yeah, because Giant Head has 500 health. 600 health. I think we need to rest. Also, dodging question marks got better since we saw Maui Head already. Okay, hello friends. How do we want to do this? Boom. Boom, boom, sneaky strike. Nice. Adrenaline, nice. Add every one of those to the deck that we see in Nilrees. It's a good start. Okay, this is horrible. So we're gonna take some damage here. Or next turn. I mean, definitely some this turn. We'll see if we take some next turn. Hopefully not. Do I want to deflect in the deck? I think so. One thing I'm noticing is that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 block cards in the deck. It's just not very many. Oh, are we dead? She was attacking us. I didn't think she would be. But she was. Holy shoot. We're at 6th life. Our time is almost up. Gonna skip those, hold on to these. Okay, she's attacking, that's good. Since we were blocking for it. Okay, do we have lethal now? I think we do, yeah. Okay, thank goodness we went and rested. That was some hyper awareness by our part. Should we take a deflect? We have another backflip in the deck and a footwork. And we just need block cards, right? Count out, we have 7 block cards, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, I guess 8 with dash. It's very few. We just need more block cards. I would like them to be backflips since those draw me into more block cards, but beggars can't be choosers. We don't need to block this turn. Although I do want to draw. Okay. Great turn. I missed out on a little bit of damage because of the shuriken. Do I want burst in here? Yeah, I'll get a burst in here. Clockwork Souvenir makes this fight considerably easier. Don't need Corpse Explosion. How much is it attacking for? Hopefully not too much. Why skip that? Okay, I took 2 damage there. Not a huge deal. It's not attacking this turn, which is good for us. So it's dead. We want we want a piercing whale, right? Yeah, we want a piercing whale. Yeah, that helps, I think, a lot. Need the sapphire key. Ice cream probably wasn't super important. Remove a card and upgrade a random card. Sure, I'll take the premium. Wow, I don't know if I've ever seen the chance to die in this fight. Wouldn't that be hilarious? Dying to this guy. You go to punch him, he just kills you. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, we'll take the premium service. Get rid of this strike. Upgrade deflect. That's great. You have to rest. We'll go to another shop. Oh, well, backflip is here. Kunai. Much stronger now. Take potion belt and buy a power potion. Kind of like that. Do I want to remove another strike? I think I do. Okay, we don't need Panacea. Okay, this other question mark was a fight. Pretty scary fight, honestly. Especially with Dome. Yeah, this fight sucks. I have no idea what's going on right now. Oh, well, we do have Corpse Explosion I forgot about, so that helps. Get 3 attacks played. And don't want those. Probably just try and kill this front guy next turn. Good, he's not blocking. Or he's not blocking. Or buffing. Okay, yeah, this is free. He's at 3, so he's not dead, but that's fine. We just block out and kill him next turn. Yeah, the boot. Kind of funny. Dodge and roll plus with a footwork in the deck and a burst and runic dome. Sure. Okay, the last few floors show you why we picked Eviscerate. Our damage felt like it was good, but now that we've removed another strike and added a bunch of cards, right? 1, 2, 3. We've added 5 cards since we picked the Eviscerate. So now we're up to a 30 card deck. Our deck is huge again, but what's the difference? We have 4 starter cards. And we've added so many block cards. So now Eviscerate is our big damage dealer. Okay, this is a scary turn. Excuse me, sorry. Okay. We can go for the 37, but honestly, the 4 extra health compared to just going for the Exploder. These guys don't attack very much. Let's just go for the Exploder. Go for the Exploder. Piercing roll well plan. Perfect. Sure, we can put Noxious Fumes in the deck. Shouldn't be taking any damage because of the Piercing Well. Just need 1 more damage here. Perfect, we got it. Although, Burst Corpse Explosion just ends it. That's nice. Okay. Fight's over. Poison Potion. Another Piercing Whale. Or an Acrobatics. I don't think we need the Acrobatics now that we've added our 3rd backflip and removed another strike. I think we just take the piercing whale. We have to take the key. I would love to rest again, but we can't. Okay, corpse explosion is good. Well-laid plans to start is probably good, although it does buff the bird. I don't think we can afford to not. The bird's attacking for 21. Maybe we play well-laid plans on the next shuffle, though. Yeah, I kind of like that idea. 16. So yeah, neutralize blocks out with the good sinks. Great. Would I put a dodge and roll in this deck? I don't think so. I think our deck is pretty solid as is. Good. It should just be attacking for 21 again, but there is a chance that we get hit with that. Ooh, that was unlucky. Took 7 damage there. Okay, not the end of the world. Okay. Is there a chance we're taking too much damage here? Alright, let's pull up the wiki. Enemies, bosses, awakened one. So, just to give you an idea of how unlucky we were to take a ton of damage last turn, or 2 turns ago, has a 25% chance of doing the 6x4, although it can't do it 3 times in a row. So, yeah, we lost the 75%er there to take 7. Not a huge deal. I don't know if there's anything we could have done about it anyway. And then there's phase 2. We don't need to worry about that right now. So yeah, it's another 75%. So it's 6x4 would be 10x4 with weak is 7x4, which is 28. So we would take like 4 damage. So we wouldn't even be dead if we're missing. It's only a 25% that is doing the bad intent. So we just end turn. Yeah, we should put a bouncing flask in this deck right now. Oh, good. Okay, but now it's guaranteed to be doing the bad one, so we need to block for 28, which is not actually very hard at all. Yeah, because of the weak. Jeez, we have so much damage. Do we put another footwork in? Probably not. Probably not. We didn't even need this bouncing flask, you see. It's attacking for 24, so we just defend melees. Don't even play the bouncing flask. Okay. Don't want to use... Actually, can we kill this turn? Yeah, we can, right? This is 21 times 3, which is 60. Yeah, so we keep the piercing whale. Toss these 2. Should have used the strike. Dang it, that was a mistake. Shouldn't matter. Okay, save all these options. That's really nice. Man, Shuriken and Kunai really is powerful. Even though our deck isn't built around them, it's still so strong. Did we like block that perfectly? Jeez. Don't really need Corpse Explosion. That's good. We might be taking some damage here. Well, it has no strength though. So its multi is only 10 times 3 and it's weak, so it'd be 7 times 3, which is 21, so we're fine. Okay. We're fine. And it wasn't that, it was the small attack. Once again, we're fine. Another sludge, so it's guaranteed to be doing 10 times 3. Just save the piercing whale, I guess. Actually, maybe we should have not saved the piercing whale since we blocked for so much. Don't need the phantom. We don't need anything. We're set up. Our deck is exactly what we want it to be. Well-laid plans, and then we're good to go. Yeah, we're blocked out. Just play the well-laid plans. Don't need those. Hold on to this. Okay. This is good. I guess we might as well do this. Oh, we got there. Okay. Nothing to set up. Okay, I don't know who I hope is next. Donu Deca probably, just because I hate Time Eater. I feel like I say that every video. This time it is Donu Deca. So let's see if I live to regret this. Okay, do we want to drink a potion in this fight? This could be a hard fight. This could be a very hard fight. I think we start with Prepared. Seems like a logical step one. Ooh, footwork. Okay, let's pull up Donu Deca. I actually don't need them. I know this fight. It's where's my OBS? Just make sure I'm recording okay. Yeah. 2 hours in. This is a long one, folks, but hopefully that means it's because we're gonna win. They start at 12 and right? 12 is their base. Let's just verify. Bosses, Donu Deca. Yeah, 12 times 2, and they gain 3 strength. Every, So we just need to block for 24. Well, we need to block for 14, so Dash does it. Not that we're not necessarily going to play Dash, but we could. Okay, so do we need a potion? No. Colorless potion is not very useful. I'm gonna drink it. Okay, we get a finesse. Footwork. First cloak and dagger. Get some artifacts peeled. Okay. Alright, so now it's 15, so we need to block for 30. A little bit harder. Corpse Explosion, Piercing Whale helps. Don't have enough attacks to proc our important cards to proc. Yeah, do we just Corpse Explosion, Piercing Whale? Good Instincts would block for 19, and it would be Attacking for 18, I believe. So yeah, that works. And we get rid of all the artifact charges. We'll have to land Corpse Explosion again next time around, but that's fine. Okay, do we want to Piercing Wail? Or would we rather dodge and roll? Yeah, we can dodge and roll just fine. Take none because of Tungsten Rod. That's pretty fun. That's not necessary to keep Piercing Wail in the deck. I probably don't want to keep Piercing Wail in the deck. Although it's fine. That was just to make sure we get some extra block this turn. Like, we're already blocked out. How cool is that? I guess it doesn't matter. It's a little bit overkill, in fact. That's okay. Here's Terror, which is great. Sucker Punch, yeah, we're blocked for, or it's weak for next turn. Yeah, we'll grab a backflip. This fight seems easy now. Okay, let's start with backflip, see what we draw. Some Piercing Wails. Is attacking for 36? But it's weak, so 18 becomes... I think 13, right? Yeah, it does become 13. Times 2 is 26, so we're already blocked out, so we can just, like, malaise if we want. We're blocked out with deflect is what I mean. Now it's... okay, yeah, we're blocked out still. So we'll malaise to peel the artifact charges is actually how we'll do this. Skip those, hold on to deflect, plus, I guess, eviscerate. Because we just want to kill Donu ASAP. Fight's over if we kill Donu. Okay, we need to block desperately here, actually. So we don't need to neutralize. Now we'll just discard the Dazed. Neutralize Donu. Sneaky Strike. Sucker Punch. Eviscerate, deflect, defend. 6 strength is 18, 13 times. So we take 1 damage here. Maybe that's even a good thing. Because we get the Centennial Puzzle. Burst Corpse Explosion. Last night. Got him. Okay, we're almost there, friends. This is an interesting one. Runic Dome definitely is a taxing relic to play with, but we're at 65. Footwork seems good. War Paint seems good. Remove a strike seems good. Okay, yeah, I can get behind that. So, Footwork, War Paint, nice, those are good ones. Remove a card and just Fruit Juice, I guess, would be the other thing. I don't care about Whetstone at all. The Abacus, probably not. Can also grab this block potion. Okay. Geez, membership card. Oh, it's not here anymore, but golden idol. I mean, obviously Maui Head helps. You see, we spent all of our gold. Footwork. Burst backflip. Okay, we're blocked out for whatever they're doing. Next turn is so hard. Next 2 turns. We're not ready for them at all. Try and get ready. Is there anything I could draw into that I want? Eviscerate. Neutralize helps. Missing the well-laid plan sucks though. Skip. Might have to block potion. Yes, this is good. Oh, is this just poison to, yeah. Poison potion to land the piercing whale. And we'll malaise while we're at it, because it's useful. Sure, I'll slip a well-laid plans in there since I missed my first one. Nice. Really good. Okay, we want to turn around. I think. Yep. Save the piercing whale for later. I'll take a phantasmal killer. We're not being hit for a lot next turn. The following turn, maybe, but this turn, not so much. Okay, we should be able to kill Spire next turn. Maybe. I might be overestimating this damage a tad bit. Oh, that helps. That does it. Okay. 42 twice is not enough, but this will be 33 3 times. That's also not enough, right? But 33 3 times is 99 plus 15. Okay, no, it's not enough. So we need to do Eviscerate and Glass Knife. Field Artifact Charge. Don't need a Wraith form. Should block out. Don't need that. Okay, it's just the heart fight, friends. Well, it's not over yet. Hold on. I mean, it's basically over as long as we don't misplay. I think. Okay, that'll be lethal next turn, no matter what. Nothing to set up. First corpse explosion. Here we go. Heart fight. Hopefully we get a potion here that matters. I mean, every potion matters a little bit, especially with Toy Ornithopter. Knuckle Skull. No potion. Too bad. I don't think we need these. I don't think we want these. 2 piercing whales. Yeah, we've got a lot of damage as long as we're. We've got Cultist Potion. We've got plenty of damage. We just need to survive. We've got Artifact Potion to help us do that. Okay, we could save the Power Potion for when it heals, but I just want it now. Maybe next turn, in case of Wraith form. Don't care for you, don't care for you. Okay. Okay, we want dodge and roll just for the block next turn, more than we want 26 damage right now. Do we want blur? Blur is not bad. Let's take a blur. Okay, we're not vulnerable, and the heart is weak. It's very good. Okay, and we have malaise. It's also very good. Okay, if it's the multi-attack, that's good news for us. Let's take a reflex. It is. Nice, we take nothing. Okay, big attack here. Don't need the sneaky strike as much as we need the life. Okay, block potion will save us life later, but it'll heal us as well if we wait, so let's wait. Let's take a footwork. We should have plenty of block next turn, so we'll save the life this turn by doing this before footwork. We got the well-laid plans. Play slimed. I guess we take one here because of the burn. Not the end of the world. Reflex doesn't land until next shuffle, so let's not mess with that. Skip this. Not. Oh no, the tungsten rod saves us the burn hit. Okay. Good, good. Okay, plenty of block. Let's go ahead and shuffle this bad boy. Look for good draws. If it's the multi-attack, it's 4. We'd be getting hit for 60. So let's block that. Or most of it. Yeah, I'll take another footwork. It's multi-attacks, we take 3. 4, I think it was. No, I think it was 3. Because of the way tungsten rod works. Okay. That's nice. We don't have any obvious burst targets coming up. I guess blur. Yeah, blur is good enough. We'll toss it. Don't need any of this. Oops. I guess I could have known we were totally under blocking there. My bad, my bad. Wow, I really hope that doesn't cost us. Don't need both of these. Wraith form's cute, but not necessary. Okay, if it's the multi-attack, it's 6 times whatever, so we would need to block for 90, which we have. Even less because we made it weak, so there you go. Sure, we'll throw an after image in there. Okay, this is the multi-attack. I would love to play a dagger throw, but it's currently attacking for 60 damage since the weak is up, so we'll just play piercing mouth. Skip these, hold on to these. Don't need deflect very badly. It's dead next turn. Probably, I mean certainly, we have 16 strength. There we go. GG's everybody! 3 in a row, finally! I don't know if I've recorded 3 in a row this summer, have I? A little brain fog for this being my 3rd run today, and then also splitting this run up before and after dinner. What's the story here? I think the story here is an Act 1 Terror class knife. If I had to say one thing that just cut and dry, that's the story. Act 1 Terror glass knife means we were strong enough for the fights for a long time. Very interestingly, oh, I didn't mean to do that. In Act 3, I was thinking Act 3, so I'm like, oh, Act 1, 2, 3, but no, this is Act 3 right here, this row right here. We were toast in Act 3. Absolutely toast. And then we deviated. We had a 3 elite path possible. At the beginning of the act, we said, you know what? Our deck is good, but not good against elites. We don't need to beat the elites to beat the bosses. We don't need to get that much stronger. We just need to survive. So we deviated to the 2 elite path. Got a little ways along the path. Recognized that we took 37 damage to Writhing Mass and said we have to deviate again. Rested here and fought only 1 elite in the whole act. It dealt 36 damage to us. We were terrible against, and this wasn't even the worst fight for us. I think Giant Head would have been worse. We survived at 6. Moved on and didn't struggle too much with the remaining hallway fights. 0 damage, 0 damage. But we correctly recognized how to path conservatively for a deck that was already ahead, but just bad at elite fights. Elite fights can be harder than boss fights, depending on your setup, and for us, Runic Dome is kind of a recipe for that. I mean, that's not why we're bad at elites, right? Giant Head is why we were bad at elites. Because Giant Head has as big of a health pool. We might have been okay against Giant Head. He's got like as big of a health pool as the bosses, kind of. And we can't really take advantage of the slow procs. We just kind of like have to honestly get through the huge health pool. The difference is he gives you a ton of time to set up, whereas the bosses don't. So he might be easier than the bosses. We can use potions freely in the bosses. We took 7 damage here, 1 damage here. Not a big deal. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, this has been a long one. I won't do too much post-game I guess the other story here is Shuriken Kunai, though. I will be honest and say, like, if these had been other relics, like, we still could have won. Absolutely. This was not a classic Shuriken Kunai comes and saves the day or totally runs the whole show. We were not at the mercy of Shuriken and Kunai. But there you have it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.